This is Aiden Willems. Mongers Actual Play Podcast is proud to present Star Wars Saga Edition Dawn of Defiance campaign, starring GM Jeff Ball as narrator and game master, featuring the voice talents of myself, with the players Matt Witt, Ryan Messina, Jay Tamblin, and Frank Hamilton.
Back in the day, when I played D6 Star Wars under a different DM, we were comparing my knowledge of D&D to his knowledge of Star Wars. What the rule books promoted, giving characters a break, moving the story along, that type of thing. I was interested in a different system. And he would just smile and shake his head and say,
"Never let them rest."
That was the one rule in Star Wars. So I feel obligated to follow in the old Star Wars tradition and move us along.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Theater of the Mind. Our story begins in the Star Wars RPG universe. Saga Edition rules on a small space station. Our players, our adventurers, will meet here and begin their journey.
So Raul looks up at Merrick and winks and says, "Hey buddy, I like the sound of credits, eh?"
Well, I'm sure with these two there'll be gunfire soon. Oh dear. Very first shot of the entire campaign. First shot fired is a natural one. And now it's time for Stormtroopers. Natural 20. Wow, look at that. All right, getting back to the last aspect. And yes, you grab it.
Your face is mine!
Star Wars Dawn of Defiance, The Traitor's Gambit. Alright, let's start with top of the initiative order is actually Pozer Sham. You are in your cantina, you're sitting, you are enjoying. Now, since you had to run and you are on the land, do you try to, do you make your force use wear? Or are you still tapped in and open to it despite the risk? There's advantage and disadvantage, because if you leave yourself open, then you can actually use your perception through your use the force skill and sense things. If you, try to ignore it and just use your eyes and ears or whatever so that you don't necessarily get caught using it, then we go straight off of your own perception and what you see.
Pozer is definitely one of those, he only uses it when he absolutely has to, so when he's kind of just wandering around, going from station to station, he keeps it off.
Well, I'm sure with these two there'll be gunfire soon, so that's the best. That's one of the cool things about this game is, the gunfire travels and people can come running in on round whatever. Next we have the two gentlemen that were moving to intercept, and that's exactly what they do. They move their 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They get 6 squares. I already had to sort of shuffle them up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they are moving to intercept the girl. Next we have Raul.
So Raul looks up at Merrick and winks and says, "Hey buddy, I like the sound of credits, eh?" And then moves in behind Merrick and draws his blaster pistol.
Okay. As a move action, you draw the pistol, and as a second move action, you move, because I believe without the base attack being high enough. So that's Raul. All right. The Stormtroopers notice the woman come staggering out. They're just walking by, and they turn and start moving up towards you guys and call out through their speakered helmets. And they say, "Stop! Move away from that woman!" So these guys pull weapons and move up on you guys. And that is Stormtrooper 1 and Stormtrooper 2. Next we have the woman, who basically 1, 2, 3, 4, and just dives down, falls at your feet, right next to Raul and Merrick. In great pain, she's, way down the condition track, you can tell at a glance. She's in rough shape, and also sort of takes cover behind this console, but is at your mercy, guys. Next we have Askaleth. San, who's dealing with a customer right at the door. The two of them stop, and Sand says,
Oh, she looks rather hurt.
and they're like just kind of peering, gawking at something going on the promenade. What do you do?
I guess I would be going to check, see what's going on, getting Sand's attention.
So you go up, and we'll put you not in the square where you are, but you're basically a square or two just down, standing beside Sand, looking out, and you can see what's going on. So you're pretty much in the square almost, and Sand's right next to you. So you move up, you can see what's going on. You just see a woman collapse in front of two civilians. You recognize them. They were both on the bus with you, the shuttle bus that came here. And you see two other people. At this point of view, it looks like just two other civilians rushing to aid. Like rushing to help kind of thing. For where you're standing just out of the doorway, all the way down the other end of the promenade, you do not see or heard the stormtroopers that are coming up.
Okay, well then I would signal to the guy that that I'd pay for the droid, and then my next goal would be go help the lady.
Okay.
Because you're in the house.
So you want to turn to Sand and say, I do want to buy this droid, and then you run out to help the woman. They'll hold it for you.
Yeah.
You move up, and you take a moment to take in the scene. Now we're back to the guys. Merrick, the two guys in civilian clothes, they draw weapons and advance and tell you guys, again,
Move away from the woman. She's under arrest.
and they take up positions, one behind this post in the center of the room, the other behind a crate, pointing guns right at you guys.
And so there's one guy is just to the south of the map there, behind the crate. All right.
And there's a guy right here. Now, hang on a second. This is what you guys see. I'll get to you in a moment. Pozer, still enjoying the ambiance, and you're close to the force, so I'm going to have to skip you again. These guys move up. Merrick.
Well, what Merrick would like to do is charge the closest guy and then use his best weapon, his body, and grab the guy. And then maybe try to throw the guy at the other guy.
That's awesome.
You actually go before they do. And for that plan to work, you need them to close on you. So we'll say that you're holding until they're close enough for you to do that?
Sure.
Or do you want to do it now?
Do I think I can enact that?
Well, you can move, and then you can initiate like a grapple, and that would be like one turn, you're done. And then the beginning next turn, you can, stabilize and toss.
I'll take my little step forward there. Kind of look at Raul, give him a big wink. You watch the girl. And then step forward, and then I, just take one of my big banana hands and grab this guy by the forehead.
Okay. So, waiting until they close, these guys move up, and you hold your initiative, and you come down, and now I've put you at 14 just under them. And you want to grab a dude. And as far as I know, grabbing in these roles is very similar to the good old grapples of yore.
There's a grapple check button. Shall I press it?
Yes, please. Grapple of 19. Now, I believe when you grapple someone, it's pretty much the same as going off of his reflex defense. You're grabbing him, same as he could jump out of the way of a blaster bolt. So, 19, I check against our new little friend's, what do you say? His reflex. The Imperial Informant. And yes, you grab him.
Your face is mine!
And that's your initiative turn done. And you're good. Next, we have Raul. Matt?
So I'll crouch down and take aim at that guy who I was pinging up here and shoot him.
Okay.
Pew, pew, pew. Oh.
Natural one.
Blows in my hand.
Thermonuclear detonation imminent.
You pull it out of your holster too quick and it goes off in your hand and just kind of shoots at the ceiling.
It hits the floor.
You fuse 2 stars in the same instance.
Oh dear. Very first shot of the entire campaign. First shot fired is a natural 1.
But it was max damage. Let's note this.
A ruinous omen, yeah. It was the... I think I would have preferred it be the other way around, a natural 20 with minimum damage.
The girl... the other way would have worked better. Yeah, because to see the red 1 pop up, but the green damage of 21. Let's just hope you're lucky in love. I mean, the woman did throw herself at your feet quite literally. All right. The dice say no mishap, but you do
Miss.
miss horribly.
The E-clip shoots out of the bottom of it.
And so
It's a common problem for you, Rahal.
a sound a sound bite I've been sitting on for like 3 weeks now. I finally get to. Can you guys hear that? How about now?
There you go.
There you go. Let me know if it's too loud because I can't hear this. It's not on mic for me.
No, it's perfect now.
Okay.
It's just subtle enough.
I don't know why that isn't working. Usually when I click on the browser, all the dice go away. Can't see the board. Oh, there we go. I have to click on the dice themselves. All right, that's new. Usually you have to click anywhere. These massive red boulders across the screen is like I can't see. Can't see the bad guys. What are they doing? All right. Action.
Matt, I think you need to change that to flap thip thip. That might be your problem.
Yeah, he's got in the notes of his character blaster on the screen. It says "thwip flap flap." What happened to pew pew pew? Yeah, the woman just crawls up tight to the console and makes herself as small as possible. And now it's time for stormtroopers who move up 5, 10. Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares. And open fire. Now, in this game, there's still a sort of measurement relevance, you could say. So, if he is 7, 8 squares away, and you are behind cover, because of the console roll, he's going to try and shoot you in the back, but you do have cover. And 6 squares away is actually point blank for our neat little rifles that we have. Now, since we're in peacetime, as it were, these guys on their E11 blaster rifles, they can have the stocks folded in, and they become like a very unwieldy heavy pistol, but that's how they carry them normally. They don't necessarily have the stock out. So green troopers, as one might say, trooper recruits, come running up and just kill the safety. They don't even bother aiming or opening the stock and making the weapon more stable. They just hold up the weapons and start firing at you guys. And one shoots at Rawl, the other one shoots at Merrick. There we go.
Oh, no.
So first shot goes to Rawl. And with a 5, what is your reflex?
My reflex is 12.
Okay, so you're good. One fires long. The other one, shooting straight at the back of Merrick, rolls a natural 20 and gets 21. However, Merrick, you do have cover from the console. So we'll start with, what is your basic reflex?
14.
Okay, so you immediately get 5 for cover. So that makes it 19. And then, I don't think it's 5 for every piece of cover, because we're close enough that we can fire over the first piece of cover. We got to be within like 3 squares to fire over the first console.
-2 if he's grappled.
I think this is the stormtroopers firing.
Yeah. No, but
Yeah.
right though, I'm firing into a grapple, but I don't know.
Oh, that's true.
It's a good question.
Do you have the precise shot, my friend?
Oh, right, firing into melee. That's right. That is. So we have to take -4. So normally we would have to hit you, but they actually do aim. They don't get their weapon properly ready, but they do try to aim for you and not hit the informant. And that would make them take -4 penalties, which would actually drop him from 21 down to 17. However, natural 20s, which I'm looking on the dice, always hit. So despite the dice mechanic, unfortunately, if it was just 21 -4 and you're 19, you're good to go, that's fine. But since I'm looking at a green 20, a natural 20 does hit. And here's the good news and the bad news. If you guys roll 20 in this roll system, there's no confirming of crit.
Yeah, it's just a crit.
20 is just a straight up crit. However, you guys can use a force point to turn a crit into a non-crit.
I would like to spend a force point.
or a destiny point. It's one of them. Oh, I suddenly feel so... just I'm going to spend half the night looking stuff up.
If not spending one of my force points, perhaps spending one of my allies' force points.
All right. So on your sheet, I believe you guys start with 5 force points each.
Yes.
And this is something I should really make a note of, is force point expenditure. So Merrick versus Stormtrooper in the first battle. Unfortunately, these buggers use the rifles of the Empire, like E11s, which are straight up 3d8 damage. So you get shot in the back for, oh, look at this, 2, 1, and 3, for 6 points.
Oh, I think he's trying to hurt me.
So please, on your character sheet, take your current hit points down, and it should immediately reflect in your health bar on the mini, so we, can keep track of who's hurting and who's hurting badly.
I can only see mine.
Oh, sorry, myself and yourself will know, so that the player can go, oh, hey guys, that way you don't have to have your character
I'm
sheet up.
dying.
Yeah. Hey guys. Yes, now everyone, I'm pretty sure at this point, yes, everyone can hear blaster fire echoing up and down the promenade because the stormtroopers just start lighting the place up. So Askaleth, you're like a square out of that doorway there. What do you want to do?
Well, I was going to just kind of say I'll take it and hold it, and then I was going to go out. But now that there's gunfire, I suppose
it changes everything. Now that there's blaster fire going on in the hallway.
No, that is what I do. I turn around, go back to Zen, and attempt to finalize the sale, as opposed to saying I will take the droid. Can't really get out there right now. I have no pistol, and
no, that's fine. That's fine. Do what your guys would do. I mean, not everyone is a combat. In Star Wars, there are all sorts of skill sets that people are good at some things. Now, everyone can carry a weapon, but not here. So, yeah, you turn back in for now. San, locks the door as a precaution because there's people with guns out there. He'd have to let the Empire in, but you know what I mean. If someone comes running for his door to come in here. So, unfortunately for you guys, there's one less place for you guys to run and hide. I'm going to temporarily, even though he's still here and he still has a turn and everything, I'm going to temporarily remove Askaleth from the turn order, but he will still, I'll still talk to him on his thing. And I am going to add a door that wasn't there before to this square. The guy just literally parked the door down here. Close the panel. This happens all the time. Now we're down to the next round, and it is Pozer Sham. We hear blaster in the hallway, and people start acting accordingly. A lot of them are looking towards the doorway, wondering what's going on. Some people just take their drink and go underneath the table. Wait it out. What do you do?
Pozer is going to get up with his case with him and kind of lean outside the door and just kind of look around to see what's going on.
Take it in, yeah. So where your mini is now, that's exactly where you move to?
Yes.
Okay. And you have cover from these corners, and you see to your left, because you're at the top of the map looking down, so to our right, but to your left perspective, because you're on the north end of the map here, there are two stormtroopers sort of jogging up and using this, shall we say, proximity of the consoles and crates that are in the promenade as slight cover and shooting over them at two gentlemen that are behind another console. One has grabbed somebody, rather large fellow, and the other one taken a knee and is huddled up against the console and firing at another one. Down the hallway, you see a man peeking over a crate with a holdout blaster, civilian clothes, and another human that's being manhandled by this very large fellow. And these two gentlemen you actually recognize as the two that did the bag shuffle. Big guy had the bag when you got off the ship, and then when you were finally left alone and the guy made a date with you to play your guitar walking away, the little guy had the bag. The two of them joined together and went off the hangar bay.
Yeah. Okay.
Now they're here wandering on the promenade causing trouble as far as the Empire is concerned. Anyway, getting up from your table back in the cantina and getting out to this position, we'll say, is pretty much all your movement, but at least now you know what's going on.
Okay.
Now talking is free. Do you want to call out to them?
No, Pozer's just gonna kind of sit there and observe. Question: with using a force power, do all the enemies automatically know that it's me using it?
It's a matter of perception. You know what I mean? Like, if you were hanging out there, waving your arms around, going, everyone stand down, you know what I mean? Like, people that are in a gunfight are looking down their sights at the targets, and you're tucked in a doorway. Yeah, you're in the middle of everything, but you know what I mean? Like, if you made a console fly across the room and everyone kind of takes stock of the entire scene, everyone's holding a gun, and you're the guy leaning out the doorway, sort of vein popping, staring at the console, then yeah, they might suspect you. But right now, it's boom, it's on. There's a battle, there's a gunfight, there's fog of war, so much going on. That's actually the perfect cover for you if you want to quietly just do something from the doorway.
Okay, I'm going to use Mind Shard on this stormtrooper right here.
Okay, and what does that do?
If I beat the DC of 15, use the force to splinter the mind of an opponent. If it beats their will defense, 12 squares, then they take 2d8 points of force damage, wrecking it with pain to move 1 step down the condition track.
Ow. And did you say it was a target or everybody in the target area?
A target, 1 creature.
Oh, okay. So you're just going to pick one guy to have a bad day and start bleeding out his ears?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, moving along. We have a DC, a force check from you. 18. And, well, we all know how strong-willed the stormtroopers are. And these aren't even stormtroopers, they're stormtrooper recruits. Even though they are in full gear, they're actually like, it's our first assignment. We got Zenzal Station. Nothing ever happens on Zenzal Station. He suddenly raises his offhand towards his helmet and starts, shaking his head back and forth. And a damage in effect. Now, is there extra damage or extra effect for exceeding will by 5 or 10 or more?
No. There's extra effect if I beat DC 20, 25, and 30.
Oh, okay. So if you do it, great. If you do it with really high-end dice, then there's an effect. Okay.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot more damage. So they take 6 damage and then get moved down 1 step of the condition track.
Okay. So this guy here appears he has some sort of stroke. He just suddenly, first the one hand comes up and he's trying to aim, and then the second one, still holding the gun, he clutches his helmet and starts screaming, and then just collapses in a heap. Success. We'll put it that way, mildly. And when we get to his partner's turn, we can probably have the partner wondering, what the hell just happened? My guy, my friend. No.
Wilson!
Yeah. We were roommates. We went to the academy together. Why? Now, also I believe in this D20, 0 hit points is death. There's no negative hit point con, is there? 0 is you are unconscious.
Yep.
Best case scenario,
Oh, wow.
Mr. Stormtrooper lies down. He decides it's been a long day, clutching his head, and under his armor, we're not sure what's happening. He just screams out once and keels right over. And that's Pozer's go. I don't suppose that's a dark side point for you. Anything nasty going on with you?
No, it is not. It's a mind-affecting thing, but no, it's not dark side.
So
I've already checked.
You see stormtroopers gunning down people in the promenade for no good reason. They're not arresting them. They're not threatening them. You just poke your head out. You see stormtroopers, the precedent of all alien empire, gunning down people. One of them's a near human. You decide to act. I wouldn't say that's very good, but I'm certainly not going to give you a dark side point for helping your fellow aliens. So you're all right. Next up.
It's more of kind of rebelling against the Empire than necessarily helping people out.
No, that's fine. Unless you guys catch me queuing up a certain type of music as we discuss the ramifications of the dark side. Very ominous music that I have.
Do you go through the door?
That's great.
Nope!
That's
Awesome.
But yeah, it's that proverbial, dark side music, make life choices bad, dun, 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 dun. All right, moving on. First kill goes to the Jedi. Next, we have this guy. Now, first guy is going to shoot at Rawl. And Rawl, from my position, has no cover. This does not bode well, sir.
No, it does not.
But luckily for you, if I do hit you, I only have a little pea shooter of a holdout blaster. Natural 20. Wow, look at that. All right, getting back to the last natural. Someone pointed out to me in the game chat here that actually you don't use a force point to negate a crit. That's a Jedi talent. You have to burn a destiny point. And a destiny point that the characters get is far more powerful. To explain, force points are a bit of luck. A d6 added to a roll, so they can get you out of situations, they can boost your rolls, and it's like the force is with you, or just dumb luck if you're non-force sensitive like you're playing a droid. Destiny points in the game, we're just starting a 10-module Dawn of Defiance campaign. And in these campaigns, the players, we're going to use the Destiny point system. They have chosen a destiny that they are destined to fulfill. And there's a whole bunch of them. There's rescue someone very important. There's kill someone very malicious or important. There's destroy something that would tip the balance in the universe one way for good or evil. There's a whole bunch of them. And there's some specific ones that the player's guide has asked you guys to select. And just for suspense, I haven't even asked the players yet. I was going to sort of hang that choice, let them feel out their characters.
No, you should pick the destiny. And if somebody decides they want a destiny,
it's your
how
destiny.
are they supposed to know?
It's your destiny not to get crit by the stormtrooper. Okay, then you spend your destiny.
Do you wish to spend a destiny point? And that's the challenge, because then the DM gets to say, hey.
That's actually kind of interesting. I like that, because I'm just offering you guys the points. And you're like, well, yeah, I want to live. So let's back up to Merrick, where he was going to use a force point. So now I have to ask Ryan, would you trust in your destiny, still not sure what it is, and spend a destiny point to reduce that crit to a normal hit?
Yes.
Yes. That's a no-brainer, eh? Do I want to get crit for like 8 damage?
Shot in the face, shot in the chest. The face, that's the moneymaker.
Okay. No-brainer. That would be funny because, you're taking all these hits and we get to revealing what your destiny is. I'll probably talk privately with the characters and narrow the list or whatever, and, you find out that your destiny is possibly not what you expected, I mean, maybe... I really like Matt's suggestion, because if you guys multi-class and suddenly become force sensitive or something, that could completely change your destiny. So, with destiny points, you get 1. Also, you guys can use destiny points to get a free crit. If you're fighting some big bad guy, and you're like, this guy needs to go down, you can spend a destiny point and pull, it's like taking 20, and just crit him. But, just to be fair, you guys, as well as said bad guy that's usually named and has destiny points, can spend a destiny point to counter another player doing that. So it does work on both sides. Like whatever you guys have, the big name villains have. So if you guys have destiny points, big name guys like Vader and Inquisitors will likely have them. And if you guys try to, push your destiny by spending your point to get crits, as opposed to getting out of the bad guy hurting you, they can in turn spend their points to cancel it. Just like Ryan just spent a destiny point to cancel a, generic crit. So, 1 DP, 1 destiny point down.
And I am going to do the same thing.
You're going to do the same thing. You believe it's your destiny not to die here on this promenade.
Yes, because I'm 100% sure that I would die.
He believes it's his destiny to collect all those debts left over from the war. He's not going down yet. So.
His eyes just lock onto the duffel bag on Merrick's back, and he's like, not yet.
Not today. Well, the Force does seem to favor you, because whenever you guys... This is the second time you guys have done that, and I've rolled crappy. 10 points. 10 points of blaster damage to you. Not
Holy crap.
Not in the face. Yeah, I guess...
Better not doubled.
It depends on your character class. Like in this system, someone like Merrick starts off with 30 hit points and then goes from there. And someone like Rawl, who's a skilled base character, starts off with 18, right? Plus your con?
Yeah, 18.
Yeah.
Ow.
And you're out in the middle. Run for cover. I've said it before. Pull the woman over top of you like a blanket.
You're listening to Rollmongers, Star Wars Saga, Dawn of Defiance actual play podcast.
That's the first guy. The second guy is dealing with this grapple. He's going to make his own little grapple check. And with a 10, I'm pretty sure that fails. So he's wiggling. Isn't going to provoke an attack of opportunity by just shooting, because he's got his little holdout blaster. He could probably just shoot Merrick. But Merrick grabbed him in the face, as it were. As we said, it's okay. So I can't see to shoot him. Just hold out the gun and phew. Anyway, he's trying to... Both arms come up, gun still in hand, and he's trying to pull this giant meat arm hook right off the top of him. Merrick's got a hold of him. The man continues to struggle. Which brings us to Merrick's turn. But before we deal with Merrick, Jay.
Yes.
The Destiny point versus Force point. you were our former Jedi. Can you explain how a Jedi or someone like Aiden's character might actually be able to use a talent to turn crits?
I believe that is a Jedi Knight. You get access to a tree called the Duelist Talent Tree. The first talent along that tree is called Force Fortification, which is as a reaction, you can spend a Force point to negate a critical hit scored against you and take normal damage. Instead, you can spend the Force point even if you've already spent a Force point earlier in the round.
Oh, okay. Which led us to my mistake of using regular Force points for... There's got to be something else you can use a Force point for.
Oh, there's lots, yeah.
Yeah. It's not more than just getting your D6, because then when you guys level, you go up in level.
Force powers.
You can add to your skills, your abilities, your attack rolls an extra D6.
Yes.
They're more powerful for Jedis, but for everyone else, I think you can add a D6 to skill or damage rolls.
Bit of luck there. You can hear Raleigh's gun. He's got his gun in one hand and a sandwich in the other.
They also allow you to convert a death blow to a fall unconscious blow.
Ah, there you see. I knew there was something. It's at the other end. So instead of the crit on top of your hit points, it's at the bottom of your hit points where someone can burn a force point so they don't die. And that's what they have in place instead of the negative constitution roll. When you guys get to 0, you can burn your force points going, nope, I'm just unconscious and I'm all messed up, but I'm not dead. Okay, so it is Merrick's turn. Merrick, as I just said, the gentleman struggles in your grasp with his own grapple checks, but fails. And you still have him. So what do you want to do?
I would like to expend any and all points that I have available to expend and throw him at his companion.
Okay, you can use a force point to add a d6 to your attack roll if you wish.
Yeah, I have him grappled, right?
Yeah, or to your strength check.
Yeah, if that's what you're calling for, I'd like to make a strength check to try to huck him at his friend. They seem like they need a hug.
Okay. You may be better off dragging him, like using the reposition, like take a couple squares, dragging him closer, and then throw him. And that's a move and a stand. You know what I'm saying?
I will take your advice and follow it.
Because I'm pretty sure, like tossing somebody 6 odd squares, it looks cool, but I don't know if we have to.
6 squares? I thought it was like only like 3.
Well, it's from his position, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 or 5 squares, but you have to lift the man and throw him like 4 or 5 squares, and there's penalties for picking up a non-weapon and blah 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 and all that type of thing. So the reposition, is that I believe it's a move or a standard?
Sweet.
I'm gonna go with, for right now, because you're doing something to an opponent, I'll have you make your grapple check and you can, drag him over there, and then next round throw him right at the dude. Because anything that's oh, there you go, natural 20 on the place yourself where you wish to be, and then you can place him wherever you wish, adjacent to you.
Well, place myself within adjacency to him, right?
Well, I don't know where you want to put him. See, like, if you, let's say, end your turn here, right?
Right.
He can be here, 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 here.
Do you have the throw feat, Ryan?
Not yet.
Okay, you can't do this yet.
Oh, I just...
Well,
Right, right now,
As far as things he can't
you
do,
can do a grab attack,
Is
a
it a
pin
penalty?
if you have the feat, a trip if you have the feat. You can hit them with a light
grab.
weapon.
Can you do it with a penalty? Because usually feats just cancel penalties. But unlike Pathfinder, where it's -4, the penalty's like -5 and stacks to -10. Like, everything in this game is +5, -5, plus.
Or maybe, no, it says that it'd be a
you
trip.
can only make you can only make a grapple attack as a standard action if you have the pin feat, the trip feat, or both. So right now he can only grab.
Yeah,
And it's an unarmed attack at -5.
Alright, and after their grab, do you get maintain? Like a free light attack or something?
Until it breaks the grab, a grabbed creature takes a -2 penalty on attack rolls unless it uses a natural weapon or a light weapon. Additionally, it cannot move until it breaks the grab. Breaking the grab is a standard action and automatically clears 1 grabber per character level.
I gotcha.
But he can beat him. Can he shoot him? Because I almost had the guy.
Oh yeah, he can shoot him. He just takes a -2 penalty on it. Unless, do you count a pistol as a light weapon?
Light weapons are holdout blasters, like his opponent has.
Yeah, so light weapon could fire. Otherwise, no.
Okay. But you could draw your actual pistol as a move and just put it into him and shoot him all John Wick style. Like, I don't know how many people I saw.
I don't have.
Maybe just go up and just. Yeah.
Oh, that's totally badass, but I do not have a pistol. But I have a rifle. Could John Wick it with a rifle?
You could actually. Can you disarm the guy? Just pull his gun? He's waving it around the air.
Sure, I would like to attempt to do that then.
It could provoke an attack of opportunity from him, and you might get shot in the process, but...
Yeah, it's okay. I woke up thinking I was going to get shot at least twice, and I haven't been shot once, so...
Okay.
Well, except for that one lucky shot that punk got.
This is kind of funny, because we're going to do some backward stuff here. You attempt to disarm him with a melee attack, which provokes from him. He attempts to use his attack of opportunity with a ranged weapon, which in turn provokes from you. So
it's Inception.
So you can smack him for trying to shoot you for trying to disarm him.
Sure, why not?
But that's how. So you want to punch him?
Yeah, like give him just a big like open meat palm across the face.
There you go. Go ahead. Do you have this should be like a melee attack or something on your sheet there?
Sorry, I was saying I have the weapons I put in.
Well, for you,
plus your ability
it's +1 for being a plus level soldier and your strength.
Correct.
Okay, so if you just want to melee punch him, go with that. So what's your strength bonus?
1.
Okay, so there you go. You have a +2 to hit him. You smack him, and the damage is likely the same as a regular attack. It's like a D4 or D3, and then martial arts brings it up to like D4. 14. Now, while grappling...
The opponent gets a... Sorry?
Opponent gets a what?
The opponent gets a +10 bonus to his reflex defense against your disarm attack.
Attack of opportunity, that's what this was, but good to know there on the disarm attack.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood what was going on.
No
worries. This is just resolving the attack of opportunity he incurred by taking attack.
Yeah, Jay wasn't used to playing with us a couple years ago, where I put each player in charge of a rule set. You're the Force user, learn the Force. You're the pilot, learn flying. I'll learn basic combat and worry about the story and the maps and everything. So we would go around the room like these guys were backseat GMing, and it might sound really rude, but we do trust everybody for the thing. Jay's jumping in on this now because I've given him permission to, but unfortunately Jay still thinks he's being rude by interrupting. But no, we are counting on anyone that remembers until we get back in the flow. And I get ahead.
Yeah, totally. No, good to know. Bring up rules.
Yeah, but they all, you guys still trust me for final vote because obviously I am the
grappling. That was the one set that Saga failed on. That was the one part of the rules that everyone's just like, ugh, because anybody should be able to make an attempt at disarming and not have to face a -10 penalty without feats.
Well, it's because he's trying a melee guy trying to disarm a ranged weapon, I think is where Jay was going with that.
Yeah.
Because like I said, you guys are so used to Pathfinder and D&D systems where there's like +2 switching to +4 or -2 switching to -4. In this game, everything's based on 5. So suddenly their 2 stack is actually -5, double stack it, -10. But no, that's just their increment. They go 5, 10, and they do it for everything.
Yeah.
Like our Jedi in the corner, he's got like I get 5 for cover.
Well, but for grappling, you can't actually do anything without taking the feats in Saga, and that's where they say it just doesn't make any sense. And I've seen a lot of I was just looking up some forums and stuff, and the big thing was a lot of people like that's the one set of rules we changed and did house rules for because they're just it's so limiting, and grappling isn't as complicated as the mechanic made it seem. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, how about this? We will as we play and we learn. We will, we'll let the game prove how broken it is, and then we'll step in with, house rules. But I'd rather not have...
I say stick to the book rules, because that's what we're kind of leading on towards this one.
Yeah.
But just knowledge in the future, it might not be as powerful to attempt that sort of thing without the feats.
Now, we know that this rule set is unpopular. It was the prelude to 4th edition. We know there's a lot of issues with some of the rules and stuff that a lot of fans didn't like. But we chose to play it a couple of years ago because we love Star Wars and we had fun playing it. And it has the Dawn of Defiance campaign with Rogue One already released, the movies and everything. Starting on Rebellion is where we want to be. And I think with our experience, we can find, we can keep people alive enough or find little ways to see what matters and what doesn't matter.
Yeah,
if we have to get
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yes. So, moving on. You try to hit him as an attack of opportunity for him trying to shoot you with a ranged weapon as an attack of opportunity from you. Sorry, you reaching for the disarm. So you reach towards the pistol to try and pull it out of his hands, and you see him angle it towards you to shoot you, and you move your arm back and, get the elbow in the face so he doesn't fire on you before you get your hands on that pistol. And with a 14, his defenses are low enough, actually, that you actually manage to smack him. So damage. I need damage from the smack.
What's my damage for a smack?
I believe, like, Star Wars usually starts at D4, but that's usually like a martial art lethal, so I'm going to say we'll go with the good old D3. So roll a D6 and we'll say 1 and 2, and so 5. So 3 points, plus your strength. So that's 4 points. So you do 4 points to this guy.
No!
Which sends him reeling because his, for how many points this guy actually has is nothing compared to you guys. And he just reels, but unfortunately he still pulls the trigger and the shot goes off. 13 against
Miss!
your reflex. Now, we are grappled, so there's probably a penalty, like a dex penalty for you.
He gets a -2 to hit as well.
All right, so that drops me down to 11. So even if I denied Merrick his dexterity, his reflex, obviously,
Reflex total of 15.
yeah, it goes. The shot goes wild. Now you make the grab for the gun, causing his chance opportunity to shoot you for trying to grab the gun in the first place. Now the actual grab for the gun at -10, but there it is.
I can't use that natural 20 that I already missed, did I?
No, but you could use a force point to add a d6 to your attack roll.
Sure, why not? Throw it in there for
Still have 5.
I heard force points are spicy this time of season.
You do get 5 on another level, so...
No, I shall spend.
Okay. So first you roll to attack, 8. Then you... no, that's... Sorry, you shouldn't roll the grapple button. You should roll just an actual melee attack. Because you're doing... Well, I know you're in a grapple, but you're just doing a straight-up disarm maneuver.
So just 1d20 plus 2?
Yeah. So roll me a d20 plus 2, so that's 15.
15 total.
And then the d6 you just use for force point is another 3, so that's 18.
Correct.
Okay. And then, Jay, you're telling me he's doing all this at -10, is that right?
No, he's doing it at -2 because he's grappled.
Oh.
But yeah, the person he's trying to disarm gets a +10 to their reflex defense.
Ah. Okay. I see. So, reflex, flat-footed, because I don't get my dex, is 11, plus 10 is 21, so, alright.
It actually doesn't say you don't get your dex anywhere in grab.
Oh, when you're grappled, are you not denied your dexterity?
Maybe, but he's not grappled, he's only grabbed.
Oh, I see.
Unfortunately, grapple is a specific condition that's separate from grab.
Yeah, that's right, because you grabbed him with one hand. Grapple is the big wrestle hug. Fair enough. So yeah, you start trying to wrestle the pistol out of his hand and have yet to succeed. While this is going on, the two of them are now dancing around, fighting over the gun, as it were. Please.
There's a lot of yelling and a lot of screaming. It is like they're like all the machoism is right there in those 4 squares right now.
He's yelling in the poor man's face. Raul, your turn.
I will take aim and fire again.
Okay. Now, taking aim cancels my cover.
Right.
Yes. So I took cover, and I've got my little +5 because I'm shooting over a crate. I'm not doing the peeking around the corner where you only see like an ear, one eye, and the pistol hand. That would give me like a +10 from a doorway. Something that Pozer Sham, our Jedi, could possibly do from his position. This guy is sort of just standing behind a chest-high crate, firing over it at you. And you take a moment to aim, canceling my bonus, and fire. And what do you got?
Oh, let's do that stupid modifier thing.
14. All right.
Kablam!
And 21 points of damage. Again.
And I
shoots him in the head. The big black scoring on the man's forehead is prominent as he just slowly slumps down to the floor. And that's Raul's turn. The woman, at your side, clutching up at you, looking up, chin up, hopefully. You're doing so well. Stormtroopers. Everyone's ignoring. You guys, I think it's funny how you guys take the civilian 8 informers in plain clothes, not armor, with holdout blasters, not rifles, more seriously to the 2 stormtroopers that you still have your backs to.
Yes.
Well, yeah, I've got my back to it with some cover, though.
Yeah. All right, so now we're down to 1 stormtrooper, though. You guys didn't even see somebody melt, so no one saw what happened. There's 1 guy left. The stormtrooper, as a move action, steps forward to the cover. Not sure what happened to his friend. Kind of, crap, I got to get down, something's going on, So is it a pulsar wave weapon? What the hell? Some kind of sonic, So he comes up and actually gets into cover as his move behind this further console, and then shoots. Odd or even. I've got 2 targets. There's Raul, who's hunkered down behind cover, and then there's the big man who's still wrestling with our informant. So it could go either way. So, gentlemen, who wants odd and who wants even? Because I don't want to be blamed for...
Well, Raul's employing me, so I'll give him first picks.
Okay, Matt.
Okay.
You want it. Pick odd or even on the dice for me.
I'll go odd.
All right. Gonna roll a d4, gentlemen. Even. He shoots at the big guy.
Ah! Ah!
Shooting into melee. Just firing wildly at the 2 of you and misses. Now, even though he's removed himself from the scene, it's still Askaleth's go. Sand sort of blinking at you. He's locked the door and stepped away and turns towards you. What do you do?
Well, I'd assume that I'd now try to lead him towards the counter so I can pay the man and...
Okay, so you take him over to the counter, just casually pull out your credit chips. He's nervously watching the door and takes your money.
Yep.
Takes your money. And you're the proud new owner of an R4 series astromech droid.
Life goals.
Life goals. Next. That was his destiny, to own a droid. He gets a force point and a destiny point back. That was my destiny. Your destiny is to be the droid.
Well, that was an easy one.
That was easy. Low expectations of the character. No.
That'll be the first button I install.
Getting back to next round, and at the top, Pozer. Sham, you're up. 2 hostiles down, right, so 2 left.
Since Pozer sees that they're still somewhat enthralled with the unarmored informants and whatnot, he's gonna turn his sights to the other stormtrooper and use force grip on him.
Okay. Now, I have cover from you, but that doesn't affect... It may give you
as long as I have line of sight.
So long as you can see me. So I don't even get
Yeah, 6.
Okay. Oh, as long as I'm within 6. Now, diagonals don't count in the Star Wars grid, do they? I don't think they do. I think that was the one thing you guys actually enjoyed. Despite all the broken rules that worked against you, the fact that you guys could run around diagonally, and every second diagonal doesn't count as like an extra 15
It's not, it's not three movement squares to go a diagonal.
4, 5. He is 5 squares away. And you could also move yourself. Like, you could move 6 squares and then use your power, which would effectively give you a range of 12 if you wish. But then you'd be, like, out in the open.
Well, yeah, and then I'd be moving. I'd be a lot more obvious. No, I want it to seem like I'm just observing from the door.
There's an entire cantina behind you watching the door. You just intently
he's more
watching.
Like leaning up against the edge of the door frame, just kind of like arms crossed while looking focused, but the people behind him can't see.
Give him the dagger glare, but looking casual.
Exactly.
All right, I'd like a deception roll from you then, trying to play it down. Not that you are under direct scrutiny in this particular scenario, but, good to get in practice for what melee ahead. A deception of 12. The poser is posing. No one's buying it, but no one's watching. No one's watching. All right, having at the stormtrooper, can I have a use the force check? There we go. Oh my god. Don't be afraid to call out your rolls, guys. People want to hear this.
Okay, yeah, 24 on the use force, which means that he So if my check beats his fortitude defense, then he can only take a single swift action his next turn.
What power did you use on it? What force power did you use?
Force grip.
Use force grip. Okay. And what does that do to me besides hinder my movement?
That's the choke.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's the force choke. It says you can use it to either choke or crush the enemy. And so they take, since I beat a DC of 20, They get 46 damage.
Nice.
It's a 2d6. Yeah, you beat a DC of 20, it goes to 4d6. Now, Vader did this all through the second movie, and when we first read the rules, we were very surprised. Like, Force Lightning, dark side point. Animate Dead in D&D, evil alignment shift because it's an evil spell. But you can force choke by crushing someone's tracheal and, making him... Because it depends on how long you apply it. You can't breathe, oh, I'll let you go. 2d6, oh, you're fine, stop crying. It's actually not a dark side point. So unless we can find some kind of brand new errata, fix-it novel thing, but as far as I know...
If you use it on a child, that's when you assign the dark side. But it's like, oh, that's a cute little kid.
I play it off as asthma because you're an evil bastard.
I believe the common, the ruling so far has been along the lines of if he uses it repeatedly, or if he uses it specifically to keep people from combat, but for no particular reason other than I just don't like you that day.
Oh, yeah.
Then it's evil. If you just
There is one. I was just making jokes. I wasn't asking for. Trust me. I've decided before we opened up. No, it's fine. And I'm not saying we didn't want to hear from you, but just so the audience doesn't know, I am not leaving the dark side point, yes or no, to a gallery vote. All right? If I hand you a dark side point, I don't want to hear about it. And I'll tell you exactly why. And you can argue your point once from the guy that receives it. But other than that, the game will move on. Because that's just a whole can of worms where people can argue as the day is long. I've seen a guy hold out a lightsaber in a doorway and claim that if the guy walked through and cut himself in half, not his problem. But he knew the target was there. He knew the target was coming. And the guy got chopped in half, and the guy argued with the GM. There's some obvious stuff that we're going to get to. And yes, Jay is correct. If you run around choking everything, like I said, then it can start accumulating. Now, you guys have a wisdom score. And when your dark side points exceed your wisdom score, you guys go dark. And I claim your characters. Yoink. Because in the Rebellion era... the playing a dark side character is a variant rule, which possibly we can explore to have some returning evil character, but I certainly don't want to promote you guys going, we'll play dark side and, we'll hang around, and the guy with the amber eyes and the veiny temples are just looking at his allies going, what? Across the line, what? For right now, that danger of turning to the dark side, being taken by the GM and becoming my new favorite NPC to stalk and haunt you guys has to be a very real threat, has to be a very real fear to you guys. So until we get to that point in the campaign, right now, if you guys accumulate dark side points that are more than your wisdom before atoning and bringing them down with light side points, which you can get as well. You guys can do really nice community service and get light side points and build them up too. And you can atone and stuff. We'll get into that as well. I will, as of right now at these levels, I will take your character from you. So keep that in mind.
I thought Dawn of Defiance was you actually couldn't atone. You collected dark side points, you just had dark side points.
Yeah, like I said, we'll get into that. Like in the future, there's some atonement for Jedi. I mean, the movies are all about Vader finally coming back or whatever. But this specific campaign does favor no atonement, keep it clean, and I will take you. I'll take your character custody if you guys cross a line. Just to keep you guys, not nice, but, from just getting crazy willy-nilly. But anyway, for another day. Right now, we are mid-battle. And in the heat of battle, this Jedi, who lost his master, assumedly, before we get too much into his backstory, during Order 66, and has disguised himself as a musician, can't help himself but to get involved and do something against the tyranny of the Empire. And you notice he's specifically targeting stormtroopers. That did not fail my notice, Aiden. You're not just posing people with guns. You're using your powers against stormtroopers, people that side with the Empire, trained by the Empire, and are fighting, committing atrocities in the name of the Empire. And those are your targets for your force powers, which I think is a very good call. And guess what? With 17 points of damage going to Stormtrooper number 2, the man clasps one hand towards his neck and makes a gurgling noise and falls prone. Next, the man in the grapple, continuing to struggle. Merrick, you're up. Now, at this point, it's difficult for him to break a grapple, and with a 10, I don't think he can.
Okay, can I just, crush my head against his?
Yep, we'll just call it, as if you were punching him. Just beating him with the sort of unarmed...
My natural elements.
Yeah, attacking with a light weapon. Feel free. This looks stylized in the heat of the moment. 16. Even with penalties, that's a hit. D3. Another maximum damage. 3 points, plus strength is 4, and the man's eyes roll back in his head, and he just goes limp in your grasp. Rawl, what do you do?
Well, seeing that...
You peek over the console, suddenly the blaster bolts from behind you, and the one that caught you in the back, stop. And peeking over the console, the stormtroopers, you don't see them anymore.
Good.
Maybe they're hiding behind the other console.
Mongers Actual Play Podcast is proud to present Star Wars Saga Edition Dawn of Defiance campaign, starring GM Jeff Ball as narrator and game master, with the players Matt Witt, Ryan Messina, Aiden Willems, Jay Tamblin, and Frank Hamilton.
Great. Now I want you to do an intro for yourself, saying, "This is Aiden Willems." Aiden Willems.
This is Aiden Willems.
And featuring the voice talents of myself.
Featuring the voice talents of myself.
That's great.
Mongers Actual Play Podcast is proud to present Star Wars Saga Edition Dawn of Defiance campaign, starring